come with us this time to Battersea Power Station, regenerated into a fancy shopping mall and swanky urban riverfront. Join us for a cheeky overnight stay where we'll show you the best places to eat and some unique places to drink. Plus we visit Lift 109, the unique elevator viewing experience offering panoramic views of London, and a preview of our unique hotel with rooftop pool. So come explore this fantastic leisure destination. So we booked an overnight stay on the August bank holiday weekend to experience one of London's more recent additions to the leisure scene, with some great choices of restaurants, bars, hotels and leisure options. So here we are, made it to Battersea Power Station. Nice quick run down here, coming in from Euston, so from Birmingham, Manchester, all those places. Straight run on the Northern Line, literally the tube ends here. However, make sure you do take the Charing Cross branch, because if you go by a bank it might be a different story and you might have to change. Now by far the tube is the easiest way to get here, but if you wait to the end of the video, we'll show you another great option where you can combine your travel arrangements with some fantastic London sightseeing by river. Passing by the no doubt ridiculously priced apartments, we arrive at the south entrance of the iconic facade of this Art Deco inspired and Grade 2 listed building. Conveniently, opposite which was the Art'otel, which will feature in our second Battersea series video and we'll show you a sneak peek of later. But for now, we dropped our bags at the hotels and headed for a spot of retail therapy. As the Battersea development is equally a residential area as well as a leisure destination, the place was buzzing with activity, with everybody enjoying the bank holiday weekend and hoping for a little bit of sunshine. Entering into the power station, you'll find the shopping mall split over two concourses located in the original turbine halls. We headed left and to Turbine Hall A, which due to the windows at both ends definitely feels the more light and airy of the two, which really helps you appreciate the sheer scale of this previously industrial complex, complete with restored control rooms and overhead gantry cranes. And at the far and north end of the turbine hall, you will find Lift 109, the unique elevator viewing experience we will show you later in this video. Cutting through the eateries and food court, we crossed over into the parallel Turbine Hall B. It would be fair to say that aside from a few flagship stores, most of the shopping is geared towards boutique and designer stores. Though Hall B has some notable leisure options, including a cinema, bounce ping pong and Control Room B, which we will revisit for pre-dinner drinks later. But for now it was time to head out of the North Concourse to enjoy the scenic waterfront of this fabulous location, where nothing could be more quintessentially British than watching a game of cricket from your deck chair. This space hosts various festivals and events throughout the year, which have included an ice rink at Christmas and the Battersea Festival of Light. This popular event runs from late January to late February and features pop-up art installations both in and outside the power station. Though today the sun was not playing ball, but was not deterring people out onto Coaling Jetty and the various pop-up bars for the favourite pastime of day drinking. We though had an early start and being pretty hungry, headed to one of the many Riverside restaurants for a spot of lunch and nab a table with a waterfront view. Here there was a good mix of restaurants and menus, and some venues like Megan's with fantastic interiors. However, we opted to sit in the sun with a spot of tapas. Someone's foaming at the mouth going, will you get on with that, I'm hungry. We've just stopped off for a little bit of tapas and a few glasses of vino. It obviously seemed a thing to do on the waterfront. But obviously the few at the front here are quite popular, to say the least, and the prices reflect that. Hence why we're not eating there tonight. But however, if you come to the very end, just by the bridge that comes over from Victoria Station, you'll find this, the Arches Lane, and there's a lot more eateries down here. I think probably a little bit more value for money, if I'm honest. Now, what these venues lack in terms of waterfront location, they certainly make up for in character, being in the Victorian Railway arches. And one we had hoped to try was here with the blue umbrellas, was the Cinnamon Kitchen, a contemporary Indian. However, being the bank holiday, was unfortunately booked out for a private event. But other options also included the Battersea Brewery for craft beer and even Birdies for indoor mini golf. So fed, watered, had a little bit of retail therapy and wandered around, seeing the waterfront, but we're now heading back to the hotel. And the only reason we also booked it is, you see there, that's the top of it there. You'll notice that there is a little something on the top, well actually a couple of things on the top, and we are a sucker for a rooftop venue, so have a little look. Now we had come full circle on ourselves back to the north entrance of the power station, and directly opposite was the Art Hotel, whose location couldn't have been more perfect. And please remember to subscribe to follow our Battersea series, where we show you our stay at this fabulously quirky and unique hotel, where we also had dinner that evening. For now though, having checked in and freshened up, it was time to head out for pre-drinks. And back to Control Room B. This characterful and themed bar is located, surprisingly, in Hall B, and is set amidst all of the original control panels from the power station. Now these used to be readily accessible, however now have to pay a surcharge to take a tour. Options include a narrated headset audio tour, a champagne tour, and even an escape room style themed experience, though we were more than happy to admire from over the Perspex barrier. You can find details online and also in the back of the uniquely themed technicians' clipboard menus, though we were somewhat more distracted by their extensive and highly themed range of drinks. Thank you to the glamorous assistant. After which, it was time to head for our second pre-dinner entertainment and our reservation at Lift 109, which we booked in advance to guarantee our slot at sunset. And if you're enjoying this video, make sure you look out for part 2 and our stay at the Art Hotel. But most importantly, we please ask that you hit that like and subscribe buttons. It really helps us support this channel and bring you even more videos like this in the future. But for now, back to the tour and the pre-show exhibit and interactive displays to keep you amused. Here we are, Lift 109, waiting to board, as it were. It's a sign-up going on holiday. Got your geek on? Have you learnt everything you need to know, babe? Will there be a test? No, we just liked all the pretty lights, if we're honest. But in no time at all, the large countdown timer directs your group to board via the photo opportunity into the interactive pre-show.
This electricity and its distribution across London, even powering the Houses of Parliament and Buckingham Palace. Deep inside the fiery depths of the furnaces, the power station was one of the most advanced of its time. The forged chimneys remain as totems of the last century's inspiring industrial architecture and as iconic fixtures in the London skyline. Prepare for liftoff as the northwest chimney offers a glass elevator that takes you up to an unrivaled 360-degree view of London's skyline.
It is worth noting you have to climb these 39 stairs to then board the lift. There is, however, an accessibility lift which can be reserved in advance online. And we'll put links to everything we've covered in this video in the description as always. The elevator pops out of the northwest chimney at a height of 109 metres, the clue's in the name. And you have 7 minutes in which to take in the panoramic views with an obligatory warning just before descent. Cost of tickets varies between £15 and £19 or $18 and $23, and recommend you do purchase in advance. One, for availability, and to save money, as any bookings on the day are charged at the standard daily rate, which happens to be their most expensive. From here we could get a great view of our hotel rooftop, bar and pool. And remember to subscribe when we check it out in our next video for an early morning swim. But all too soon our time was up and it was time to start our descent. So, lift 109, what do we think, babe? Did the earth move?
It was pretty good.
It was actually, you know what?
Yeah.
Considering you've got the Shard, the London Eye, that are all more in central London, when you pop up here, you're coming up with the city on one side, residential on the other, but you actually get to see all the Chelsea bridges lit up. It actually was a good all-round view, and we timed it absolutely spot on. We got up there just as the sun came down, literally about 5 to 8 we came up here. And it was perfect time. It was a bit dusk in the sky, but still some ambient light. So, well done us.
Yeah, it was really nice, really pretty.
Suffice to say, with all of the stores now closed, the power station was eerily quiet. So headed back to our hotel and Tozy, their Italian restaurant, for dinner. And finishing with drinks on their rooftop, which you can check out in part 2 of this series. The next morning, the weather had vastly improved and the sun was out. So it was great to see the site deserted on an early morning coffee run, after which we enjoyed an early morning swim in the rooftop pool to build up an appetite for a spot of brunch afterwards. And always partial to a pancake brunch, and with a name like this, could not miss trying this restaurant, though very busy and operating a wait list. As you can see, it was well worth the wait, with some unusual menu choices and some accompanying mimosas, of course. But if pancakes not your thing, not to worry, as the power station has a highly regarded food court, some food trucks and many well-known restaurants. And just below the restaurant, at the bottom of the north entrance vestibule stairway, you'll find more restored elements from the power station's heritage, a scale model and also an exhibition charting the history and renovation of this impressive restoration project. But sadly, it was now time to head back to the hotel and collect our bags before starting our journey home. But rather than heading for the underground, we took a stroll down to the riverfront to catch the Uber Thames Clipper. Now, just for travelling, this is not cheap. At between £8 to £10 or $10 to $12. However, it's a fantastic way to appreciate the great city of London from the river, and certainly cheaper than a river cruise. And a great way to end the trip, and would thoroughly recommend Battersea as a London mini break. So we hope you've enjoyed this video, and look out for part 2 and our stay at the Art Hotel. Alternatively, one of our other destination videos. But for now, thanks for watching, and see you again soon.